Welcome back. In this one, we're going to start our exploration of the male reproductive system. So we are talking about the male reproductive system in an adult, how it functions. And for that, you need to understand the ages at which sexual maturity occurs. So in the girl, puberty does hit younger than it does in a boy. So girls are typically around 11 to 13 years old, so at the end of elementary school and beginning of middle school, whereas boys tend to be closer to the end of middle school, beginning of high school, a couple of years later. As far as the reproductive organs go, there are some shared functions and then there are some sex-specific functions. So both males and females are going to produce sex hormones. They're going to be different sex hormones in their gonads because the male obviously is going to produce mostly testosterone and the female is going to produce mostly the estrogens and progesterones and very little testosterone. The only testosterone still being produced is going to be being made in the adrenal gland. Both males and females have organs that produce their gametes as well as transport their gametes from the site of production so that the fertilization can occur. Men deliver sperm and women need to receive the sperm in order to become pregnant. Women also have structures that transport their menses and yes, a baby outside of their bodies. They also are responsible for developing the baby and will have changes in their uterus as a result of that. Their birth canal has to accommodate the baby's body, and postpartum, hopefully their breast tissue will be able to nourish the baby. So looking at these structures, in the previous slide I said gametes, and so if you're not sure what the gametes are, these are the cells. So in the men, things that you've called sperm, okay? And then ladies, you may have called them eggs. Okay, we're chickens, we're not chickens. We don't have eggs, okay? We have oocytes. In addition, we are going to have various organs known as gonads because they're reproductive organs. And what's important to realize is developmental-wise, we start exactly the same. And then based on chemical messengers, these organs will differentiate and move to locations for a male, or they will differentiate into organs for a female. So we have what are called homologous organs between the male and the female. So for every organ in the male, you need to think, what is its homologous counterpart in the female and vice versa. So these organs are going to be responsible for producing those gametes as well as the massive amounts of sex hormones after puberty. There's also protective and covering structures in the gonads, and there's also structures that secrete mucus for lubrication and structures responsible for arousal and sexual climax. And with that, we're done with our introduction. Come on back and we'll start learning more about the male genitalia.